Alright everyone, if you've been following with these reviews, then you're looking at the next episode which I'm recently doing right now, and that is All Will Be Revealed. Before I get started, I just want to say, sorry I took too long. It's because I got a new phone and I had to go on vacation to Wisconsin with my dad, and sorry I didn't get to tell you that. It's because I don't want to break your promise about making this review. And thirdly, I got too much schoolwork and too much shenanigans that I wasn't free yet. And my strategy is, promise is a promise. And now, let's begin with this review. So we start off with Bud making a sandwich called Bud Thompson, and Arthur and Butter got back from playing hockey, and DW was upset after Arthur took the last batch of milk, and she was arguing about his brother taking everything, including the snowball. And honestly, or no way, how many times did DW argue about the snowball? Yes, twice. Examples are the Season 1 episode DW Snow Mystery, and the return of the snowball from Season 7. And guys, because this is a season finale, they just want to reveal where DW Snowballs is at, because this is actually a follow-up to the first two episodes in two seasons, mainly Season 1 and Season 7. Anyway, back to the episode. So Arthur went back to play hockey, and DW explained about Bud, about the snowball, and then Bud went to his room with his imaginary dinosaur named Rafty in order to figure out where DW Snowball is at, otherwise these two will argue forever. Then of course, they took the concert vault and they stated that they, Bud Thompson and Rafty Thompson, sorry, I can't pronounce it, do they only swear to find out what happened to DW Snowball. And I was like, that reminds me like I pledge allegiance or whatever thing it is. And then of course, we went to a strange place called Fantasy City where we get to meet a rivalry of DW's imaginary friend, Nadine. And ever since Rafty knows that Nadine has a snowball, I was like, Rafty, weren't you a new character in Season 16 along with Bud? How the hell did you know about Elwood City's history? And guys, I know what you're thinking. Diego, do you hate this episode? No, I didn't hate this episode. I did enjoy the episode. It's just I want to let you know that I have nothing to explain about this episode because it may contain cliche moments, and I don't care about if it's cliche because, in case you don't know me, I'm the only person who watch cliche movies or episodes for fun, but still enjoy it. It doesn't matter if it had to be perfect or not. The only thing that was negative for me, but is my favorite, like, if there's a favorite movie or a new favorite TV show, then we went from what they had. That's the only cliche I have. I prefer my old cliche, and that's it. Anyways, back on to the episode. Okay, this is gonna be too complex for me to say, but for some reason, how did Rafty give the Tooth Fairy a day pad? I mean, it doesn't make any sense, no offense, but it's called teeth, not a day pad. And guys, I don't want to spoil this if you haven't seen this episode, but Nadine in this episode for a long time, we'll get to her later because I just want to save her when we get to the... Sorry guys, I can't remember what to say about her in this episode, but she was telling them that it's just aliens. I mean, she kind of reminds me of Salty from Percy and the Monster of Brendan episode where he was trying to play a trick on Percy, saying that Cranky is the monster of Brendan. I don't want to give away this, but we should move on. And guys, sorry that's off topic, but don't get me wrong, I do love this episode. I do love the Sharon Miller episode and the Hit Era episode. Then of course, these two went to Buster's house, and while they're about to answer the door, he was afraid, and then Buster's like, I thought I have scary imaginary friends. And I was like, you do have a point that you didn't have imaginary friends, right? And also, I do love the scene where the man walking the dog and he gasps like, is that something familiar? And I laughed so hardly. Well, technically it's not that funny, but this is one joke. Anyways, back to Buster's house. After Bud asks Buster about the aliens information, he just shows the magazines all about the aliens. And guys, there's one interesting topic. The front cover of the first Alien magazine, the one with the strawberry head, it kind of reminds me of one episode of Family Guy where in one of the cutaways where Peter is a strawberry. And that is one thing I kind of do like that part. It was actually a reference. I mean, first, the contest episode, they made a South Park and Beavis and Butthead reference, and now this episode, did they just made a family reference? Sorry guys, that's just off topic. Back on saying. And then of course there's another scene where Bud, after he asked Butter about the aliens, that they're interesting, Butter has showed the magazine about the aliens, and after that they took them to the freezer to show them decoy snowballs, and after that they sent a trap for the aliens by placing any snowball around the room just to track down the aliens. Then of course the aliens arrive and they meet up with an alien troll who's a ripoff of Binky Barnes. And guys, when I first saw them, I was like, oh my god, another cliche character? That's impossible! And then they told them that the snowball in the magazine cover is fake because they left the door open. And then they told them that they collect snowballs. And they said the only thing to get it back is... Sorry, I was thinking. Back on saying. The only thing to get it back is that it will cause Buster's food collection. And guys, I feel bad for Buster that he wants to keep his food collection. And he was convinced to pack up. And then we're headed to space. And that space was known as Relics to Elwood City. And guys, before we move on to the story, we need to talk about that planet. That planet, Relics to Elwood City, is interesting. I mean, it's a planet where you store objects. It was also a sweet planet that tastes like donuts. And it has the exhibit, which I'm getting to it right now. I'm just saying, this planet is gotta be one of the imaginary planets next to Fantasy City. And then, of course, a Binky ripoff alien has showed them the exhibits. They showed them a snowball, which turns out it was fake. It was replaced by a croquet ball. And it turns out it wasn't a Binky ripoff alien who did it. And Bud and Rabbit had went back to Fantasy City, and it turns out it was brightly revealed that Nadine is the one who took the snowball. And it turns out that Nadine was lying the whole time, and I was like, really, Nadine? Really, Nadine? After you've been the best imaginary friend to DW, just why? Just why? And also, I'll get to more on her when we talk about the characters. And the reason for this is that the aliens are trying to steal DW Snowball, so Nadine decided to put the croquet ball to fool them, and by reversing time, just so she could get the snowball. And I was like, really, Nadine? You have no right to keep the snowball. Why can't you just hide a snowball with you in the house and wait for the aliens to go on and then put it back in the freezer before DW gets checked on? It would have been work for that. It could have been worked. And one of the worst reasons she said, because, Arthur took everything. Again, really? Then of course, Bud had told Nadine everything about it, and Nadine has a point that it's time to move on. Why? Because she held the snowball longer for 27 years. 27 years is too long. And then, of course, they went back. Nadine had put the snowball back, and it turns out it was just a dream. But for real, and this is the best part of all of Arthur's histories, these W Snowball have finally returned! And then we got the overcome where Buster had a weird dream as well. And that is literally the plot is. Finally. I finished the plot of the movie, but still, my video wasn't done yet. We still haven't gone to the characters yet. Alright, the characters. Bud and Rafty are great heroes. Now, let's talk about the alien troll. We'll save Nadine for last. Honestly, the alien troll is a ripoff of Binky, I already told you. I mean, seriously. It's actually Binky with two heads, wants to steal the snowball, and we still ain't got no reason why they want to steal the snowball. And now, we saved it for last. Let's get into the character of this episode, and don't get me wrong, I still like the character, and that is You guessed it. Nadine. Honestly, Nadine is the salty from Percy and the Monster of Brenda of the Arthur episodes. Just seriously. Except Percy and the Monster of Brenda is still my favorite episode, but Nadine is lying the whole time. Literally, they made Arthur and DW fights more, and for rest, oh, well, I already explained how many years it long, but seriously, she's a troll in this episode. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like Nadine. She's the best imaginary friend of DW. She's my favorite character of the show. I even loved her when I was a kid, when I first watched the show on the PBAK Go era. And that's all I can say about the characters. Oh, wait, sorry. Buster in the Dream is interesting. But Arthur in the beginning, I feel bad for him about the DW complaining, the snowball, but he chose the usual. They have no purpose with that. And that's all the characters I had. Finally, I finished my review. Anyways, see you on my next review. This is DHL1979 signing off. Anyway, I forgot to give this episode a rating. Despite all the flaws, I'm going to give this episode an 8 out of 10. A good episode. See you in the next review. I'm sure I'm not getting close to this. Stay tuned my reviews. And okay, we'll see you next time.